The sun was barely rising over the Pride Lands, painting the horizon in warm shades of gold and red, when Simba woke from a strange dream. It was the kind of dream that left a weight on the heart even before the mind could understand why. A low whisper of wind brushed against his mane, carrying with it a scent he had not smelled in many years. Something old, something familiar, something almost sacred. Simba stepped out of the den quietly, careful not to wake Nala or Kiara, and walked out onto Pride Rock. The air was still, the kind of stillness that only came before major change. As he looked across the vast plains, he felt a stirring deep inside him. An instinct he hadn't felt since he was a young cub, listening to lessons from the great king who raised him. Simba closed his eyes for a moment, letting the breeze wash over him, and as he drew in a slow breath, he whispered one word he had not spoken aloud in a long time. Father. It had been seasons since he last heard Mufasa's voice in the sky, guiding him, strengthening him, reminding him of the lion he needed to be. Life had been peaceful, and with peace came silence. Simba wasn't sure if the great kings had grown quiet because they trusted him or because they were waiting. But something felt different, no different enough to bring back the memory of thunderous clouds, the echo of a mighty roar, and the deep voice that once shaped his destiny. Simba walked to the very edge of Pride Rock, gazing across the grasslands where antelope grazed in a slow, lazy rhythm. Everything looked normal, yet nothing felt normal. He sensed change coming, not the kind that arrives with war or danger, but the kind that comes with prophecy. And then, far in the distance, he noticed something strange. A faint glow flickering along the edge of the horizon. It wasn't the sunlight, it wasn't lightning, it was fire. At first, he thought it was his imagination, just a leftover image from the intense dream he couldn't fully remember. But as he stared longer, the flicker grew stronger, dancing in a rhythmic pulse like a signal, like a call. Simba narrowed his eyes. Fire wasn't unusual in the dry season, but this was different. Fire usually spread outward, but this one seemed to spiral inward, circling something he couldn't see. He felt a shift behind him and turned to find Rafiki standing silently, his staff decorated with fresh gourds and symbols of ancient rites. The old mandrel's eyes were focused on the distant wildfire too, unreadable and deep, filled with the wisdom of generations. You feel it too, Simba said quietly. Rafiki nodded slowly. Hey, Simba. It begins again. Simba stepped closer. What? Begins? Rafiki didn't answer immediately. Instead, he lifted his staff and pointed toward the swirling ring of fire far beyond the boundaries of the Pride Lands. The past, he finally said. The past that never rests. The past that returns when the world needs reminding. His voice grew softer. The kings are moving. Simba, a chill ran through Simba's mane. Why now? Rafiki gave a small, mysterious smile. Destiny does not knock, it roars. Simba felt his heart beat faster. The dream he was starting to recall fragments now. Flames surrounding him. A shadow walking through smoke. A voice calling his name, not with fear, but with urgency. And then, a flash of golden light. The light felt warm, comforting, like the sun touching his soul. And in that blinding glow, he heard a roar Mufasa's roar. Simba's breath caught Rafiki. Was that fire in my dream? The same one out there? Dreams are never just dreams for kings, Rafiki said. They are warnings. Or invitations. Invitations to what? Rafiki tapped Simba's chest with the end of his staff. To remember who you are, and who you were meant to become. Simba looked out again at the fire. It was clearly growing, but surrounded by an invisible force that prevented it from spreading outward. Simba didn't understand it, but he knew he had to go there. Something was calling him, something tied to his father, tied to the history of the Pride Lands. Or Simba could respond. A sudden gust of hot wind blew across Pride Rock, swirling dust around their paws. The sky darkened just slightly, enough to dim the early daylight. Simba looked up as clouds began to circle in a slow spiral, not storm clouds, but a pattern he recognized instantly. His heart pounded. Rafiki leaned forward, whispering, "He comes!" Simba's breath trembled. The clouds parted for a moment, and the sunlight broke through in a single golden beam, striking Simba directly. His fur shimmered under the radiance, and everything around him grew quiet. No birds, no wind, no sound at all. And then, softly, like a memory brought back to life, a voice echoed in the air. "Simba!" Simba's knees weakened. He hadn't heard that voice since he was a much younger lion. Standing under a moonlit sky, strengthened by his father's guidance. But it was unmistakable. Deep, powerful, warm. Mufasa Rafiki bowed his head. "The great king speaks." Simba lifted his eyes, and though he saw no face in the clouds, he felt the presence, wrapped around him like sunlight, familiar and strong. "Father, why have you returned?" Simba asked, his voice barely steady. Mufasa's voice rolled through the sky, steady as thunder, but gentle as wind. "A fire awakens in the east, Simba, a fire older than the Pride Lands themselves. You must follow it." The beam of light brightened, pulsing once. "For your destiny and mine are not finished." Simba's breath hitched. "Not finished? But there is more you must learn," Mufasa said. "More than what I taught you when you were a cub, more than what you have faced as king. The past has risen, and with it, a power you must confront." Simba swallowed. Fear and curiosity tangled inside him. "What power?" Mufasa's voice grew deeper, layered with echoes of many kings before him. Though, the one who once challenged the circle of life long before Scar. "Long before I became king. A force we thought had faded, but never truly died." Simba felt his skin prickle. Another enemy. One even older than Scar. One that even Mufasa feared. "Father, what must I do?" "You must walk the path of fire," Mufasa said. It will lead you to the truth. It will lead you to me." Simba froze. To him, what did that mean? Was his father alive in some way he didn't understand? Could the fire truly connect their worlds? Before Simba could ask more, the clouds trembled, and the golden beams slowly faded. Mufasa's voice grew faint. "Remember, Simba, the roar of a king never dies. It only waits." The sky cleared as if nothing had happened. The warmth faded, leaving Simba breathless and shaken. Rafiki placed a hand on Simba's shoulder. "The journey begins, my king." Simba stared at the distant fire, now glowing brighter, stronger, almost alive. "Then I have to go," he said quietly. "Whatever is waiting there. My father wants me to face it," Rafiki nodded. "Not once. Simba needs." Simba took a deep breath, letting the fire's glow reflect in his eyes. "I will follow it." And somewhere, far beyond the Pride Lands, deep inside the swirling flames, a shadow stirred. Golden eyes opened, eyes that did not belong to any lion alive. Something ancient had awakened. Simba left Pride Rock with a steady stride, but inside his heart was restless. Every instinct in him pushed forward, urging him toward the mysterious fire at the edge of the world. He didn't tell Nala or Kiara yet. Not because he didn't trust them, but because what he felt was something beyond ordinary danger. This was something deeply spiritual, something tied to the very heartbeat of the Pride Lands, and he needed clarity before bringing others into its path. The sun was fully rising now, stretching long beams of gold across the plains. The grass swayed gently as Simba walked through it, each step stirring memories of the days when he once ran across these lands as a cub. Chasing butterflies and laughing under Mufasa's watchful gaze, for a moment, he allowed that innocent memory to ease the weight on his shoulders. But the thought of Mufasa's voice echoed again in his mind. The roar of a king never dies. He wondered what his father meant. Was his roar still alive somewhere? Had the spirits of the kings kept part of him behind for something greater? Or was there a deeper history he had never been told? A story Mufasa never thought Simba needed to hear until now. Simba traveled farther from Pride Rock, moving past familiar trees and watering holes. Zebras lifted their heads as he passed, sensing something unusual in his presence. Elephants paused mid-step, turning their massive heads as if the wind carried whispers only they could understand. Even the birds stopped singing, glancing toward the eastern horizon where the strange fire spiraled upward like a signal from the heavens. As Simba reached the borderlands, the air grew hotter. Not from the sun, but from something unnatural. A dry, burning wind rushed past him, carrying the faint sound of crackling flames. Yet there was no smoke spreading, no heat scorching the earth. The fire was contained, precise, almost intelligent. Simba slowed his pace, his eyes narrowing as he spotted a figure standing by a lone acacia tree. At first, he thought it was just a shape created by dust and distance, but as he drew closer, the outline became clearer. The figure was a lion, tall, strong, with a mane that flickered like embers. Simba froze. Something about the lion felt wrong, ancient, familiar. His heart pounded. Was this the presence Mufasa warned him about? But then the figure vanished, gone like a mirage. Simba blinked. What was that? Celesta, he whispered to himself. A voice answered behind him. Something that has been waiting for you. Simba spun around, ready to defend himself, but relaxed when he saw who approached. Was Zazu, the loyal hornbill, wings beating furiously as he tried to keep up with Simba's fast pace. Your Majesty. I've been looking everywhere Nala sent me. She woke up and you were gone. She's quite worried, you know. Simba sucked, and he should have expected that. I'm fine, Zazu, I just needed some air. Zazu landed on a branch above him, chest heaving. Simba, you're practically halfway to the Outlands. What's going on? Simba looked toward the distant flame. I'm being called by my father. Zazu's eyes widened. Mufasa? Truly? Simba nodded. I heard him. The kings are moving again. Something ancient has awakened. Zazu swallowed hard. Ancient things usually aren't friendly. Sire, I know. Simba exhaled. But I have to go. It's my destiny. Before Zazu could respond, the ground trembled beneath them. A deep rumble rolled across the plains, strong enough to shake loose dust from the trees. Simba's claws gripped the earth as he looked around. What was that? A roar echoed north, a lion roar, but something heavier and older. The sound vibrated through Simba's bones. Zazu trembled. That wasn't any creature I know of. Simba darted forward. Stay here, Zazu. Gladly, Zazu called after him, wings shaking. Simba rushed toward the source of the roar, crossing rocky terrain until he reached a narrow gorge. He stopped at the cliff's edge and looked down. The earth had cracked open, revealing a glowing fissure. The inside pulsed with orange light, alive like a heartbeat. As Simba stared, the glow shot upward in a burst of flame, but didn't burn him. Instead, It curved around him like a warm wind, lifting dust into swirling patterns. Simba stepped back, eyes wide. The flame formed shape symbols, ancient markings older than any pride or kingdom, spun in the air around him, glowing fiercely before fading into sparks. And then he heard another voice. Not Mufasa's, not Scar's. Something older, deeper. Simba, son of Mufasa, stepped forward. Simba's breath caught, and every muscle in his body tensed. Who are you? He called out. The ground shook again. Flop. From the fissure, a form began to rise, not flesh, not spirit, but a projection of pure flame. The shape grew taller, shaping into the outline of a lion with a mane that flowed like fire, eyes blazing gold, a presence that felt both regal and terrifying. Simba stepped back, fur bristling. What are you? The fiery lion spoke, voice like thunder wrapped in flames. I am Mandrakai, the first king. Simba's heart stopped first. King? He had never heard that name, not even in Rafiki's oldest stories. The flaming lion tilted its head. I ruled the lands before the circle of life was formed, before the laws of balance, before the stars carried the voices of kings. The eyes narrowed. Before your bloodline existed. Simba swallowed. Why are you here? The ancient king's gaze burned deeper. Because your father called you. Because the world shifts again. Because the circle cracks. Simba stiffened. My father told me to follow the fire. To find the truth. Mandraki's expression flickered like a flame against the wind. The truth is simple. A king's destiny does not end with death. Your father stands between two worlds, and that balance is failing. Simba's breath shook. Failing? How? Why? Mandrakai roared, not in anger, but in ancient frustration. The gorge trembled. Because something has returned. Something even the great kings could not destroy. Only hide. And now it seeks the one lion who carries Mufasa's roar in his heart. Simba stepped forward, voice firm. If it wants me, it will face me. Mandrakai's flame flickered in approval. Courage. But courage alone will not save you. Or your father. Simba froze. Save him! Mandrakai lowered his fiery head. Simba, the father is trapped. The words stabbed Simba's heart like claws. He couldn't breathe. Trapped? Where? He whispered. Mandrakai looked east toward the spiraling fire. In the realm between the living and the stars, held by the same force that awakened me. Simba felt the ground sway. Tell me what I have to do. Mandrakai's flaming form leaned close, heat brushing Simba's mane without burning it. Walk through the fire, face the shadow that even the kings feared. And remember this, destiny does not choose the strongest, but the bravest. The flames burst upward in a violent flash, blowing Simba back. When he rose to his paws, Mandrakai was gone. The fissure closed. The gorge grew silent, but the fire in the east burned brighter than ever. Simba stood alone, breath heavy, eyes glowing with a new resolve. For the first time in many seasons, his heart roared with the same power Mufasa once carried. He would save his father. He would face the ancient Shadowman. He would walk the path of fire.